that you're going to have ahava ve'achva, shalom ve'reut, love and peace between you and your wife, between you and your husband, B'ezrat Hashem. That the only argument and fight that you're going to have is, and you're going to have many of them, is who is more lucky. Who is more lucky? Your wife is going to say, I'm so lucky to have you, and you're going to shout and loud and clear, you're wrong. I'm the lucky man. This is the only argument. Everything else is out of the house. In the house, the only fight, and outside as well, is who is more lucky. Obviously, we're going to speak about not only shalombait, the building of Beit HaMikdash. Beit HaMikdash considered to be our own home. Every house of a Jewish person considered to be Beit HaMikdash. Mula Simcha, if Beit HaMikdash considered to be our home, what replaced the menorah? What replaced the menorah? You know, you remember that in Beit HaMikdash was a beautiful menorah. A menorah that the Kohen Gadol used to light on a daily basis. What replaced the menorah?
Shabbat candles.
Beautiful. The candles of Shabbat. Every time your wife lighting the candles on Shabbat, she actually reminds that the house of a Jew is a small version of Beit HaMikdash. Eliyahu, if candles of Shabbat replaced the menorah, so what replaced the Mizbeach? You know what's the Mizbeach? The altar. In Beit HaMikdash, it was an altar that used to give sacrifice on a daily basis. What replaced the altar? Yes, so good to do it, you know. Amen. I like the blessing. What replaced the altar? The tables. The tables that you're sitting down, and you bring guests. The table that your wife cooked, the best food that exists, is actually the daily mizbech. Because of that, you cannot sit next to the table when you are, God forbid, naked, or putting the leg on the tables. Table is mizbech, and you have to respect it. The tables that you eat, mechaper avonotav shel adam, erase all your sin. If this is so, Binyamin, what replaced Kodesh HaKodashim? You know what's Kodesh HaKodashim, Binyamin? The Holy of Holiness. They have one spot in the house that's considered to be the Holy of Holiness. What replaced the Holy of Holiness? Bedroom. The bedroom between a husband and wife, considered to be Kodesh HaKodashim. Because of that, a person has to be very modesty, not to put TV in the bedrooms. Just the opposite. The only place that you're not allowed to have TV, I mean TV in general you're not allowed to have. But if you already have Gehenam, don't put it in. Don't put it in Kodesh HaKodashim. Why you put it in? The only place in your house that considered to be the Holy of Holiness, and the guy put 65-inch with DH, I don't know how you call it. How do you call it? HD, something like this. Quality. If you're going to Gehenam, at least you watch it and you see good quality. You don't put TV, not smartphone, not stupid phones, in your bedroom. Bedroom considered to be what? Kodesh HaKodashim. Because of that, our tradition, just to let you know in general, that when I'm coming into a house, one of the only places that you're not going to see me walking in is a bedroom of a husband and wife. Is that modesty? I don't understand why when people come in to visit in your house, you take them all over the house and you show them the bedroom. Bedroom you don't show to no one. It's between you and your wife. Nobody have to know how many beds and how you sleep. It's lack of modesty. Modesty is the foundation of every Jewish home. You don't show your bedroom, and you don't give your bedroom to no one. Meaning, you leave the house, if you have 4 bedrooms, no problem, 3 of them give to guests. Your bedroom, you're luck. You don't give nobody to sleep in your bedrooms. No one can sleep. Because the one that sleep, all his fault, good or bad, will stay over there in the bed. Because of that, tradition-wise, we buy, the only thing that you have to buy brand new, not the tables, not the frame, not the china, I don't know. Everything you can buy, use. But the mattress, you have to buy brand new. Because the food that people sleep in that mattress come with the mattress as well. Tradition-wise, it's good to buy and important to buy a new mattress when you're moving into a house. So we see, Kodesh HaKodashim considered to be what? And nothing is more important from having modesty in the house of a human being. Bilam HaRasha, when he came to curse the Jews, and he realized that he cannot do it. Why Bilam, our worst enemy? He was in the level of Moshe Rabbeinu in prophecy. According to some opinion, even greater. This giant trying to curse the Jewish nation, and he didn't succeed. You know what he said? Ma tovu oalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. I tried to curse you, but one thing I cannot do. When you have a modesty in the house, even if a woman doesn't wear kisui rosh the whole week, at least in Shabbat, at least in the Kiddush, have kisui rosh. You know, just accepting yourself. It's 1 hour is a week, 2 hours a week. What's the big deal? You're coming in, at least in Shabbat, wear clothing that they are modesty clothing. If you're going to ask me what's the most difficult challenge for a man, I will tell you. Being a rabbi for over 28 years, Shiur Torah, inviting the husband to come to a class, you're going to see automatically your husband have 200 excuses why not. And the smart one will tell you, Rabbi, you know why I'm not coming? Shalombait. I came to Wednesday night and the rabbi over there spoke about shalombait. I want to invest time with my wife. The only time is Wednesday night. You see, every time you tell a man Shiur Torah, he will find you excuses, business, shalombait, children, I need to make money to support the yeshiva, to support the kollel, to support the synagogues. 100 excuses. If you're going to ask me, what's the most difficult things? What's the most difficult things for a woman to do? I will tell you obvious. It's not. Modesty. You can ask a woman to do everything. The Parshat Chala, keep in Shabbat, go to the mikveh and dip 88 times. She will do everything they're going to do. Extra 2 inches in the dress. 3 months, you're not going to speak with her. Rabbi, enough is enough. He make me too much religious. Balagan, screaming, shouting. The most obstacle challenges for a woman is modesty. And Bilam said, as long that you're going to be modesty, no one will ever be able to curse you. The first advice I'm going to give you tonight, before we enter into the story, is remember that modesty, tzniut, is the most important, especially in our generation. I told you many times, especially in the summer, and I will repeat that maybe another 1,000 times in the next 10 years. When you're going out to a vacation, choose wisely which vacation you're taking. Do not go to a hotel. Hotel is not a modesty place. Go to a villa in Orlando or in Miami, in any place today. A villa with private pools, with private pool, with private jacuzzi, with private, between you and your wife, that's it. You don't need to put your husband and yourself, but especially your husband, in the places that is not supposed to be. The price is very high to pay. It's a niyut, modesty. If you're going to keep modesty, no one will ever be able to curse you. Bilam HaRasha really wants. He wanted to curse the Jews. He wanted the Jews to be dead. A minute before he left, he was not successful, right? He was not successful. This week, Parasha, a minute before he left, he told Balak, I'm going to give you advice on the house. I hate them so much, the advice is for free. I don't need to get paid. Just make sure you're going to do what I tell you. What did he say? Send your daughter to convince the Jews to do immorality. Why? Their God hates immorality. Unreal. Lack of modesty. You're going out to a vacation, you're going into cruise line, you're going in. Be very, very careful which one you're choosing. Pay a little more. By the way, costume is the same money. If you're going to check private home, or hotels, fancy schments, none of you is going really to Motel 6 or Motel 4. You are Bukharian, luxury, Ritz-Carlton, America, Balagan. Ritz-Carlton or private home, you got everything in it, fancy schmancy, and you pay 50% less. So if you're already going into a vacation, do it right.
Rabbi, Airbnb.
Exactly, R&B. Whatever you said, I'm good. Baruch Hashem. If this is so, the second advice I'm going to give you, and then we're going to enter in. Remember, Bil'am HaRasha want to curse us. How did the pasuk said? ויהפוך השם לך את הקללה לברכה. כי אהבך השם אלוקיך. May God will replace, will flip, will change the curse to a blessing. Anyone here know how do you write curse in Hebrew? Kelala. How do you write kelala in Hebrew? Letter is Kuf. Lamed. No. Lamed. Hey, right? Kuf. Lamed. Lamed hey, right? Kelala. Kelala in Hebrew, in English meaning curse. If you flip, what did the pasuk said? God will flip the curse to become a blessing. If you flip the word kelala, meaning read it backward. If kelala is kuf, lamed, lamed, hey. How do you read it backward? What's the first letter? Hey. And then? Lamed. And then? Lamed. And then? Kuf. Beautiful. How do you write it? Halel kuf. You know what means halel kuf? Halel meaning to praise. Kuf is 100. What's 100? 100 blessing a day. If you're going to bless God 100 times a day, you will never see any curse in your life. You're going to be a blessing human being. You don't necessarily have to go to Israel to pray in Kivot Tzadikim as much. That is very important. You can live in America and still be a blessing human being. A man and a woman obligated to bless God 100 times a day. You know that this is Halakha in Shulchan Aruch? How do you get to, what's his name? Jack. Yaakov, right? Yaakov, how do you get to 100 blessings? How do you get to 100 blessings? Is that not right? It's not a lot. You know why I'm telling you not a lot? 100, I'm talking about שהכל נהיה בדברו. בורא מיני מזונות. ברכת המזון, העץ, האדמה. Binyamin, how do you get to 100 blessings a day? First of all, how many times we pray every day? 3 times. How many blessings we have every tefillah? It's not really 18, is 19. 19 is how much? 57. We already see 57 down. If you pray 3 times a day, you already in the basic, 57 down. Continue. When you wake up in the morning, we're blessing God after Modeh. How many blessings we have over there? 18 blessings. 57 plus 18 is how much? 67 plus 8? 70? 75. Beautiful. We're already 75. Tefillin, 76. Tzitzit, talit, 77. Wow. Now we have a bathroom, at least 3 times, 80s. 80s, right? You go to the bathroom. At least, Asher Yatzar 3 times 80. Now, we have Kriyat Shema. Kriyat Shema, 2 blessings before, 1 blessing after. Kriyat Shema Shel Arvit, 2 blessings before, 2 blessings, 80, how much were? 84. Plus 7 is how much? 93. We're already 93. We didn't even do nothing yet. 93. And then we have Birkat Hamazon. Wow. You eat at least once a day. Birkat Hamazon have 4 blessings. 93 plus 4 is, and then we have Shakot 3 times a day. Hashem Melech. It's easy, right, Yaakov? It's easy, no? I told you, life is easy. Everything that the rabbi asks, he looks like so much. You didn't do nothing, you got 100. And Bnei Ainara, we are Jews, we like to eat. Every 5 minutes, you can get easily to 120 blessings. But minimum that you have to get is, anyhow, is how much? 100. May God will flip the curse to be a blessing. You know how you flip the curse? If you take the word curse in Hebrew, kelala, and you flip it, it becomes praising 100. If you're blessing God 100 times a day, you will be a blessing human being. Now I'm going to start the class. It was only introduction. Gentlemen, ladies, one of the most famous stories that the Gemara shared in these 3 weeks, then I'm going to give you a few explanations.
Wow.
Al Kamza ubar Kamza char b'Yerushalayim. The reason that we are in exile for almost 2,000 years, because Kamza ubar Kamza. Do you know what's the story with Kamza ubar Kamza? Anyone know?
Yeah.
Okay, I will tell you the story in a short version because you're going to hear it many times. He was a man. Most likely he was a respectable human being in Yerushalayim. And he had many friends. He was very well known. He invited all the rabbis. He invited all his friends. One of his best friends, his name is Kamza. Kamza. He was his best friend, his buddy. You know, they said every person have 5 people, but they're the closest people to him. So you know what's being a close person? 2 o'clock in the morning when you have a flat tire. What do you call? Definitely not your wife. Gezer Shena, you're going to go to Gehenna. Why you wake me up? Don't call your wife, please. Don't make me. What do you call in 2 o'clock in the morning? Usually your friends. For flat tire, I'm not talking about the measures. Flat tire. What do you call? The one that you call, most likely is your best friend. In time of need, not in time of happiness. Who is going to be there to give you the loans that you need so much?
Sure.
Everybody will tell you, don't worry, God. Exactly. God will help you, but don't come to ask for me. You know, everybody tell them God because I don't want to do nothing. Hashem is going to help you. Hashem is going to give you parnasah. Hashem is going to give you a job, but don't come to ask me. You are really your best friends. Ladies and gentlemen, his best friend name is Kamza. His worst enemy, he hates this guy dearly. His name is Bar Kamza. So in his event, he sent a special delivery. He sent one of his servants, please go and bring my best friend Kamza. You know what the guy did? He made a mistake. He invited who? Bar Kamza. Now imagine yourself in a happy moment in your life, you see your worst enemy. Bar Kamza is walking in, and the guy is looking and said, what are you doing here? He said, what do you mean what I'm doing? You invite me, you sent the guy. He said, no, I didn't invite you. It was a mistake. So what do you want me? You want me to leave right now in front of everybody? Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. The guy said, I don't care. Get out of here. He said, how much cost my plate? $180? I'm going to pay for it. He said, get out of here. I don't need your money. He said, how much cost the event? $100,000? I'm paying $50,000. Do not embarrass me in public. He said, get out of here. I don't need your money. He said, how much cost the event? I'm paying the whole event. Please do not kick me out. He said, get out of here. None of the rabbi talked. None of the people spoke. He was so embarrassed in public. He left the room. And he went and he snitched to the Caesar of Rome that the Jews rebel against you. And the Caesar of Rome came and destroyed Bet HaMikdash. You know why we are in exile? The first explanation, צא ולמד כוחה של בושה. Go and see the power of embarrassing one human being. Because of one Jew that was embarrassed, we passed the Holocaust, the Spanish Inquisition, we passed the Greek, we passed so much years and years of suffering because of what? One Jew that was embarrassed. If you're going to ask me, how difficult it is, Gemara said, it's better to jump into a fire. טוב לו לאדם שישליך עצמו לכבשן האש. It's better to jump into a fire and not to embarrass another Jew. One Jew was embarrassed. One Jew was embarrassed. Yosef HaTzadik revealed himself to his own brothers. Do you remember the story with Yosef and his own brothers that they came to him? What did he say? He said, please leave me with this brother only. Anyone that is stranger, leave the room. Only me and them. You know what the risk is that? They can kill him at the spot. He said, it's better I'm going to be dead. And I'm not going to embarrass my brothers. How easily we are embarrassing each other. How easily a person is coming home on Friday night and he embarrasses his wife in public because the table is not ready. Who give you the right to embarrass your wife? Who give you the right to make comments? Do you know why we cover the challah? Do you know why? Well, Yaakov, why did we cover the challah? Right? In Shabbat we cover the challah. Everybody covered the challah. Miriam, do you cover the challah? Eliyahu, do you cover the challah? Do you know why we cover the challah? Do you know why? It's do you know why we cover in the challah? We all do it, right? We do kiddush. Because halakha-wise, what is before? Wine or bread? Except what? Shabbat. Be'emet bread, המוציא is before gefen, before wine. Except Shabbat ויום טוב. That in Shabbat, what do? We do gefen. So in order not to embarrass the challah, what do? We cover it. Like she does not exist. Now I can bless the gefen. If she's not in the room, I can do gefen. Not to, for challah, we're so careful. But your wife, that she is a human being, that she is the mother of your children, you're so easy to embarrass. Look what's happened when one Jew got embarrassed. One Jewish person, go and figure out the power of shame, the power of embarrassment. One explanation. And now listen to the second explanation I heard it today from my older brother, the Tzaddik. Michael, this explanation is a life-changing explanation. What is the name of these two people, Moshe? What's the name? Kamtza and Bar Kamtza. Do you know what it means, Kamtza in Hebrew? What is Kamtza? Kamtza. Kamtza meaning what? Sheep. Stingy. You know why Bet HaMikdash was destroyed? Because of stingy human beings. When people didn't know how to become a givers, this is the reason we're in exile. God hates stingy people. The Gemara said that anyone that is stingy, the Zohar Kadosh writes, do not go to Gan Eden. Unreal, stingy, you know what's stingy? Stingy is a person that his hands don't win. He will find you 2,000 excuses not to give you $5 for charity. Some people, they have a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone that is a cheap human being, knowing to be that his forefathers never stood up in Mount of Sinai. Jacob, you know what exactly happened in Mount of Sinai? What exactly happened in Har Sinai? In the Mount of Sinai? We receive what? We receive the Torah. Beautiful. If a person is stingy, his parents was never there. He doesn't come from why? How do we call the holidays that we receive the Torah? How do we call it? No. Chag Matan Torah. Now, what's the logic? How are we supposed to call it? Chag Kabbalat Torah. What's the difference between Matan Torah to Kabbalah?
Receiving and gift.
The holiday that we receive the Torah. The name of these holidays is not the holidays that we receive. The holidays that what? God gave us the Torah. Why? And the answer is because God wants to teach me that the most important things in life is not to take, is to give. You receive the Torah 100%, but this holiday is all about giving. I gave it to you. Asher natan lanu et Torato. God gave us. Giving is more important from receiving. In a generation that everything that we study is about what I'm gaining, I, me, and myself, come this story and teach us. Because of two stingy people, Bet HaMikdash got destroyed. Do not become stingy. Be large human being. When you are large, God is large with you. Arizal HaKadosh writes, it's two items that was never cheap. You know what's the two items that Arizal HaKadosh was? large.
Give to his wife.
Buying mitzvot, buying tefillin, buying mezuzah, buying etrog. Any mitzvah, any commitment. We call the sofer, give me the cheapest tefillin in town. You know what Arizal used to do? Give me the most expensive tefillin that exists. Don't give me the etrog that costs $20. Give me the etrog that costs $500. The best etrog in the market. Arizal HaKadosh said, I was never stingy with mitzvot. And the second thing is, I was never stingy with my wife. When my wife asked me anything, I saw it in the grave of Arizal. I came back home and I said, shalombait, feel free. Whatever you want. No, I got the message. Take the credit card and American Express, Visa for anything else is MasterCard. Do not be stingy. Because of stinginess, Bet HaMikdash got destroyed. One plate. What's the big deal to give him a plate? What's the big deal to give another Jew to eat? What's the big deal? One plate. 2,000 years of exile. How many times we're trying to save? Do not save. Because anyway, just to let you know in general, that all this mentality of saving doesn't help you. You know why it doesn't help you? Because the Gemara said, Mi Rosh Hashanah ad Rosh Hashanah. From one Rosh Hashanah until the other Rosh Hashanah, they already announced how much money you're going to make. So you're not going to make a penny less, and you're not going to make a penny more. Exactly the same amount that they already announced you're going to make. So what do you care to enjoy on the way? What do you care? What do you care to enjoy on the way? Anyhow, be large. God is going to be large with you. Al Kamsa Ubar Kamsa Charva Yerushalayim. What a beautiful explanation. What a beautiful explanation. Yes.
What does Ishtadlut come into play over here?
You see, they have the logic, and then they have above logic. You're asking, I believe, the wrong person. The question is good, but the person to answer is wrong. Why? Because in my systems, I always believe above logic. No ishtadlut, no nothing. You give. Tzedakah, you give unlimited. Your wife, you give unlimited, and Hashem give unlimited. I never count my money. I don't like to count it. I don't want God to count how much He's giving me. Don't count. Give. And when you're not counting, God is not counting you. When you start to pay medekdek, do you know why? Do you know why it's so important to give the wife? Because, listen to this. Where exactly we study marriage? Binyamin, where exactly we study that marriage between a husband and wife? You know where? From where? From which place? Matan Torah. You know that Matan Torah? Matan Torah, everything that we study, and marriage life, chuppah and everything, is Matan Torah. Why Matan Torah? Because Matan Torah, we got married with who?
Hashem.
With Hashem. Who is the man in this relationship?
Hashem.
Who is the woman? Knesset Israel. Who is the Ketubah?
Torah.
Torah. Beautiful. And God said, the way that you treat your wife is the way that I'm going to treat you because you're my wife. Wow. You become stingy? Don't worry. I'm also going to become stingy. But if you become large, I have no other choice. Moshe is already practicing. If you become large, I will become large with you. It was good to come tonight. It was good to come tonight. Yaakov said, why I came? They never told me Rabbi Vaknin like this. Why did I came? Tell them next week not to invite me. Don't worry, next week we're going to cover for it. Don't worry. But it was good to come. And now, tomorrow she asked you, Yaakov, I need to go to shopping. Remember, you're the wife and God is the husband. Which goes around, comes around. Why? Hashem, no, I'm just teaching you what to do. You have to get the message. יעקב זה לארג'י בית קיצי